Another incident shows us why it's so critical that you maintain self-control and self-awareness before you end up saying or doing something that could escalate a situation. Hi, I'm John, founder and president of Gentle Response, a consulting company specializing in very dynamic, realistic conflict de-escalation training seminars. And before I get going talking about this incident that happened earlier this month, hit that like and subscribe button, because what I do now is I take these incidences that make it in the media and I talk about how conflict de-escalation training, knowledge, and skills could have and would have made a major difference on the outcome. So in this particular situation at a Popeyes in Maryland, a food delivery girl is apparently on her way out to make a delivery, and the security guard tells her to use a different door. And this is no surprise to anyone. Over the last 6-7 months since the pandemic, a lot of organizations have designated one door for entry and one door for exit, right? Apparently the security guard tells this girl to use the proper door, and she refuses. And he ends up laying hands on her and grabbing onto her, and they end up getting into a big physical fight, which of course someone videotaped, and I'll have the link to the news story and the videotape down below. How could this whole silly situation have been avoided? Let's talk about the security guard. Folks, when you're in a situation of authority for a given situation, especially if you're a security guard, you've got to be very well aware of the parameters and limits of your duties and obligations and responsibilities. You're a security guard at a fast food restaurant. In a situation like this where someone's using the wrong door, did you even consider how you would handle a situation like that, or did you have a knee-jerk emotional reaction to someone disobeying you and you go and lay hands on someone and create a physical altercation over a no big deal? Situation like this sounds like an internal issue. You have a food delivery girl, so apparently she must be an employee of the same restaurant that you're working at, disobeying the business's rules and regulations for their staff and employees and guests and clients to use specific doors for specific reasons. I think the better thing to have done was to report her to your supervisor or her supervisor. Now, it does happen where someone will immediately overreact to a first-time offense, let's say. But let's say he actually told her several times through the course of the evening to use a different door, and she constantly refuses, at which point it just built up, and then he blew up. Again, another example of why you need to have self-discipline, to have self-awareness and self-control to avoid letting your emotions get the best of you. All you had to do as you're dealing with someone who clearly is just disregarding and disobeying and your authority and so on is just report her to higher. A situation like this did not require going hands-on. Let's talk about the young lady, the food delivery driver. In the news article, she admits she refused. So let me ask you something. Why couldn't she have just done the right thing? She works there for however long. She had to have known that there's a designated door for entry and outgoing and so on. Why are you one of those people who does the right thing? When you take your groceries out to your car in the parking lot, do you leave the grocery cart out there, or do you take an extra few seconds to just take it to the cart corral? I personally take it to the cart corral. I really do. Just doing the right thing could have absolutely avoided this entire conflict. And when you see them interviewing her and when you read the context of the story, there is absolutely no, I wouldn't say emphasis, but there's no bringing up her, the part she played in this. All she had to do was do the right thing. Couple takeaways. Take a deep breath. Slow your breathing down and stay in control of yourself and your own emotions. Seriously consider the consequences of your actions, and seriously consider the situation you're facing. Does it require going hands-on? And if you do go hands-on, what are the consequences? If you're a security guard, be very well aware of the limits of your authority, your duties, and your responsibilities. And if you're an employee, just a regular person out going through life, just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. We are all in this together, this pandemic. We're all under stress, and a little bit of empathy and compassion for each other could go a long ways.